Okej, nu kör jag. Why do we only talk about FPO?
Because FPO is not an afterthought. It is not something that we glance over after discussing MPO at length, because FPO deserves the same attention, the same detail, and the same chance to create stories and inspiring heroes in the sport. FPO is the reason why we love disc golf. It's the reason why we play, and it's the reason why we eat, breathe, and dream about disc golf.
Talk birdie to me. We are Talk Birdie to Me, and this is a disc golf podcast in collaboration with PDGA Europe Women. Well, Ida, this is new.
This is weird. We are not speaking Swedish.
No, because usually we are a Swedish podcast about disc golf.
Precisely. So my name is Ida, and with me I have Jolene.
Yes, that's me. So, hello Sweden, hello Europe, and hello world.
Yeah, so as all of you regular listeners here, this is a special episode where we're going to speak English, and we will now release these episodes in English, maybe focusing a little bit more outside of Sweden compared to our regular episodes. And these are going to be released one time a month, so monthly, maybe not exactly on the same week every month. It kind of depends on what is happening in the disc golf world, if there are specific topics that we feel are relevant to cover for the European scene. We might release even 2 episodes in English. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. We'll see, but there will be 6 episodes from about May to October, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So now we are alone in our studio where we usually talk Swedish, but now we speak English. And it's a bit weird, so bear with us. But we might have some new listeners. Our Swedish listeners know us. We released already, I think it's 52 episodes in Swedish, and we have some interviews in English as well. So just short, should we introduce us to our possibly new listeners?
Yeah, let's do that. So like I said, my name is Ida. I've been involved in disc golf, or I don't know, dipped my first toe into disc golf a long time ago. I don't know. I think 20. Now I can't even remember. But I started playing more in 2016. So let's keep it at that. That's kind of when I learned to play disc golf more than just throwing a disc every now and then. I really fell in love with disc golf once I started playing with other women. That's like what got me really trapped. Seeing other people with the same, I don't know, like this, yeah, the same conditions, abilities as me. Yeah, and just the community that women in disc golf build, I think is really special and amazing. Yeah.
So were you living in the States or USA at the time?
So when I first started playing disc golf, I was living in Sweden, but then when I started playing more, I was living in the US. So we were living there from 2019 to 2021. So during the COVID pandemic, and also in relation to that, to the like disc golf boom when everyone played disc golf. It was pretty fun times. Even though it was difficult to get spots in tournaments, there were a lot of women who like influxed into the sport at that time. So it was fun. What about you, Yolene? How did you find disc golf?
Did I introduce myself? I can't remember. No. Okay. So my name is Yulin. I played disc golf the first time in April 2019, and I got into it quite quickly. I, when you get the first throw that's going flat and somewhat far, that was really addicting from start. So I started to build a bag almost right away. Bought some discs, got a bag, but it was I didn't play so frequently to start with. But then, as I met some women. Yeah, I met you, but first I met Christina. So I played with some local woman at this club where we're at in Malmö, in Sweden. But then in fall 2021, I met you. And that's when things really took off.
Things got serious.
Yeah, things got serious. And then I think, was it 2022? No, I'm so off with the year. But we started this podcast about 1.5 years ago.
Almost 2 years exactly now. It was in May in 2023. I had been thinking about it for a little while, but I was, thought it was like too silly of an idea to start it. And then eventually I was brave enough to suggest the idea to you, and you thought it was a great idea. And we just kept going.
Yeah, we kept going. It was a bit shaky start, but we continued. It was a lot of fun. And as we said before we started podcast, we always talked about disc golf. And we were very interested in what we could do to highlight the women in the sport. So this was the perfect way to go.
Yes. So we usually, in our regular podcast, we usually talk a little bit about regionally, what's going on here. And then we move out into the world and talk about the pro scene. And this week is very special because it's going to be the first major of the year. Champions Cup is going to be played at Swenson Park in Stockton, California, in the US. And we are super excited. So before we move on, we want to give a big thank you to PDGA Europe Women and the work that they do to progress women's disc golf in Europe, including sponsoring this podcast. And this is, of course, not the only thing that they do, but they work on initiatives, including the European Women's event that takes place in September. Don't miss this. And also, of course, the PDGA Europe Women's Festival that happens in Bilbao in Spain in the first weekend of October. And all these things we're going to get deeper into in the coming episodes. So stay tuned for that. But with that, let's take a little break and hear a few words from our collaborator.
From top competition to the new players. From supporting women to funding new courses. PDGA Europe is much more than competition. Visit pdga.com/join and grow the sport. PDGA Europe.
So let's just dive into it. Last year, because this is a bit special, last year this tournament at this course was O2B Open, but now we changed it. So now it's the Champions Cup. And it's a major.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Champions Cup was first played in, what did we agree on, 2022, and it was originally thought to be played every time at W.R. Jackson in Georgia at the IDGC. However, unfortunately, after 2 great years there at that course, the bug I don't know what the bug is called. There's this little beetle that eats all the trees. It's here in Sweden too, and eats all the trees.
Yes, it's everywhere.
So they had to cut down a lot of the course at W.R. Jackson. So they had to move it. And last year it was played at Northwood Black. And then this year, now they moved it to the OTB course. So normally it's difficult, when you're looking at past winners. Are you looking at the OTB winners, or are you looking at the major winners?
Yeah, because last year at the OTB Open, Ella Hansen won by 7 strokes.
Yeah, pretty comfortable win. Ella had a great performance. She had the shared lead already from the first round and was able to hold on to that, and started off really strong in the final round, getting a couple of birdies, while Holland Hanley, who came in second, started off with some bogeys. And I think that just created the distance that Ella needed to get her first win of her career.
But she looked quite comfortable all the way. I think it must have been nice for her on the hole 18, because it can happen a lot around the green and from the second shot if you you want to get up there and have a easy par at her, what do you say, the situation she was in. But it was a great competition last year. I really it was so nice to see Kat Murch play well as well on that course. So we had, I think it was, I can just look because we have the notes. So it was Ella Hansen first place, and then on second place with Kat Murch, and then we had Owen Scoggins and Holland Handley.
Yeah, it's a little bit, so looking at the course, it's a pretty distance favorable course. Like the holes, you have to throw pretty far. But so to have Owen Scoggins up there really shows that, her way of playing, or her capability of playing golf and to sink long putts. And that, if you have the lines and you're able to putt really well, you can still compete on this course.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like the par 3s where there's water included, because that feels like, it adds the extra pressure and the extra performance of being able to make those putts that Owen and other women as well obviously can make. And also that I like the fact for this that it's an open course, so the spectators can get close to the players and really celebrate when they do something that's really nice or hyped, or if they, just get celebrated for all the good shots.
Yeah, I think this is one of the one of the best spectator experiences that they have on the Pro Tour, where you get to come really close to the players and see all the nice shots. So, let's look a little bit more closely at the course, since we're already kind of on that topic. So Swenson Park, they made a lot of changes this year. I think the first 3 holes are completely new. I was comparing the caddy books and they look very different. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the caddy book, Jolene.
No, not to get them both up and compare them, because I think it's quite funny that the caddy book for this year Champions Cup isn't the name for the file, or for the PDF. Is that the name is DGPT OTB Open, even though it's for the Champions Cup 2025. So I thought, okay, there will be no changes to this because they're using the same. Just copy paste.
Well, there are quite a few changes. So they both made a few new holes. They tightened up some of the OB. I think it's going to play a little bit more difficult than it has in previous years. But then the major change is that they have for a lot of the holes, they have 2 baskets. So they have alternate pin positions. which I'm usually really positive to, but it's also, I don't know if it's going to be a little bit confusing. I hope that it's going to be clear when the rounds start, like what basket they're going to play. I mean, I assume there's only going to be one basket in the
Yeah,
field at
yeah.
that time, but still, like, kind of what shot to expect.
Well, do you know, I heard one tournament in Europe, sorry, just a sidetrack, where they had the two pin positions, and when I think it was the MPO who were going to play, they didn't remove, or if there was the other way around, since the afternoon before they hadn't picked up the basket that wasn't playing for the FPO in the morning. But this was somewhere in Europe. I will not say when or where or who told me, but I have a memory of this.
Well, I heard from some of the players on the ground that it's very confusing practicing on this course, because you have 4 baskets. So you have 2 FPO baskets and 2 MPO baskets. And sometimes you also have 2 tee pads. Actually, in a lot of cases, you have 2 tee pads, MPO and FPO, and they're all marked in blue. So it's really difficult to know what basket, like where are you throwing from, and you don't know what you're throwing to. I'm sure you can, look it up in the caddy book, but sometimes you just want it to be intuitive and just want to have it in front of you and just see it. But
yeah, especially when the players have played the course before. I think they just want to get back and get out on the course and just get started.
Yeah, so it seems a little bit tricky. I hope it's going to be clear for us viewers, and I hope, of course, that no player like accidentally in their head think that they're throwing to another pin position and like bombs it. And yeah.
That will be an issue for a few players in the field, I think.
Yeah, but so, I mean, we said Swenson Park, it requires distance. There's a lot of open holes. It's played on a golf course, but all the holes have really low ceiling. So there's these big, nice, beautiful trees that requires you to throw golf lines. I think maybe we'll get to see some rollers as well. The OB lines in previous years have been pretty generous. I think that they have made it a little bit more difficult this year because they don't want a major to be too easy. But I hope that there's still enough room for the women to throw some rollers. I think that would be a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, because I can like the part of the course. I'm not a big fan of the big open courses that just premier distance from the women. But what I like about this is there are trees there, but they're, as you said, they're low hanging. You have to throw under the ceiling, and also where if you have a shot to the pin, you can throw a hyzer, but there you have the branches coming down as well. So it feels like they placed the baskets in a really good spot and really used all of the land that they
the greens
have.
are really obstructed, and it's either it's really tricky to get into the green, or your putt is going to be tricky in some way.
It's going to swim in the water.
Yeah, there's quite a few holes with water involved as well. I think that's really fun. I love water holes. It's just a mental thing of a hole.
I think we all have some memories from hole 17.
Is that the hole that Katrina Allen threw over and over on?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that seems very stressful, and it's very stressful to watch as well.
Then you're going to be very excited to hear that old 17 is now 18.
Really? But what caddy book am I looking at? I brought it up, but I have, okay, this is interesting. Yeah, I like it. This is going to change a lot because they cannot have the same, Ella, sure, she could have thrown OB on the green on 18 as it was yesterday at O2B Open, but having water close by the basket is so much more stressful than just OB.
Yeah, and they also changed it. So the new 18 is going to be a lot more difficult than the one that they previously played. It's still a par 4, but so they're throwing out through some trees, and they have a landing zone that's, I think it's 250. So let me see. Yeah, about 300 feet, maybe 320 is where they want to land. So, I mean,
and what is that in meters? Or are we talking metric now, or are we going to talk feet?
I want to talk in meters, but the problem is that the map tells it in feet.
Oh no! Can you translate for us? You have both. You live there, and now you're in Sweden.
But it's like 110 meters. So that's kind of where they need to land, and then they have a tiny little strip of land that they can use as a layup zone. But I mean, it's not going to. There's no one who's going to throw a layup on this little strip. It's because they decrease the inbounds area a lot close to the water, and then it's this little island or peninsula where the basket is placed. So you have to throw about 100 meters or 110, and then you have to do another shot that's like 70, 60 out to this island that is very small. I think there's only from the basket to the water, it looks like maybe 5 meters on one side, and then on the other side is like 20. So
yeah, and I mean, let's just state the obvious: why it's more scary to throw over water than just OB, because rarely the disc get a skip on the water, as it does on grass and OB. So
yeah.
Just a little fun fact for you all to consider.
Yeah, excuse me. It's going to be exciting to see how these holes play during the first few rounds, to see how the women tackle hole 18. And because, sometimes when the hole is difficult, it can get boring because it means that everyone just lays up and you don't really get anyone going for anything. But I hope they haven't made it too difficult, but that it's still interesting and that people want to go for the birdie.
Yeah, we don't want the hole 18 on the first course that they played on Music City Open.
You mean Sprinkle Valley hole 18? Yeah, no, let's never do that again.
No. So, yeah, we want them to be aggressive on 18 if they have to.
Some other changes, except then for hole 1, 2, 3 that I didn't recognize, is an hole 6, which is a new triple Mando hole. I haven't seen it. I mean, I only seen the map, and but I think they made some kind of a structure. But I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I love triple Mandos. The one on, I'm so bad at courses, where they play throw pink.
Winthrop?
On, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's the hole 16 where you first have a triple Mando from the tee pad, and it's a par 4. Can you envision? Yeah, I love triple Mando, so that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that hole is a great hole. But yeah, I mean, I think the course, you say you don't really like the open course, but I think this is one of the better open courses that the tour plays. Yeah,
but I have a lot of emotional connection to W.R. Jackson, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this. No, but there's a reason for that, or a few reasons. Because what happened in 2022 when we had the first Champions Cup?
We had a very dramatic final round when Kristin, at that time, Tatal, when she had it, she was winning. And I mean, you heard interviews with Paige Pierce afterwards saying that she also thought that she had lost already. She had accepted that she would get second place. But Kristin throws a bad upshot and then misses her putt and misses her putt again. And another time, right? She misses like 3 or 4 putts.
It was a 3 putt, right? It wasn't a 4 putt. If it was, I blocked it out from my memory.
Paige Pierce, eventually, she doesn't even have to make her putt, but can lay up for the win. Very weird win. You could really feel it, like crushing.
Yeah, but there was drama before that on the round.
Yes.
Because we had Kristin, then Tatar. She had her daughter as
it's like we don't want to say her new last name.
No, because... Okay, I will say Kristin Lett. She had her daughter as a caddy, and somehow someone brought up that her daughter was not of age to be a caddy. She had to be 13. So I think it was the middle of the round, her daughter had to go back from, Kristin and go back into the spectators. So not only could Kristin focus on winning and just maintaining what she's been built up for 4 rounds, she also had to worry about her daughter. I'm sure everything was fine and she was, safe with the people her daughter was with, but, you have empathy for your daughter, what she's going through right now. So I think that was...
kind of a strange situation that really didn't need to happen. And I think, Kristin handled it really great because she said that, she owned up to the fact that she didn't know that you couldn't have a caddy that was under 13. And she said, yes, it was my fault. And she never blamed anyone for the situation, which, I think was really graceful and...
As always, of Kristin.
Match her personality very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a weird situation that really didn't need to happen. And next year, her daughter will be 13 and she can caddy for her.
Yeah, we will celebrate that.
It's funny because I heard somewhere, some podcast or something, that Kristin said that she was joking with her daughter all the time that when she turns 13, that she was going to caddy for her again.
Yeah, that's nice. They have a bit about it. But also, okay, so the year after, we had another memorable event, Champions Cup, because then Kristin Lett returns and she wins. What did we talk about before? She won by like 100 strokes.
She crushed the field completely.
And she got a Grand Slam.
She got all the majors, including Worlds.
Yeah.
That year was fantastic for her.
Sorry for yelling at you, but I got excited. Yeah, that was awesome. And then we had last year as well when they played the
Northwood Black.
Yeah, Northwood Black, and we had Evelina Salonen taking down the win. With, it was Tatar was there. She was on the card with Henna and Silva and Tatar. Then Lett. Was it Lett already last year?
No, I think she changed it over the off season. So it's acceptable.
Okay, yeah. It's acceptable. And I will say the wrong one. I've done it so many times. But eventually the Lett will stuck. So, but then Evelina had a big win. And it was so nice. It was such a good play from her. And we've all been talking about her putts and just waited. And all the 2023 season, we all waited and said, if she only can make the putts and, all of that. And then she had such a great year in 2024, and Champions Cup was one of those events. So it's really been a great tournament ever since the start in 2022.
Yeah, it really has brought on exciting moments. And I feel like both the story around Kristen with first her loss and then coming back, getting the Grand Slam, including Champions Cup, and then Evelina's like cathartic year of last year when she got both chess.com and then Champions Cup and the World Championship. It's just, it turns out it's a really, I mean, these wins are really meaningful as well for the overall season.
And so how we got into this topic from the start was that the Europeans are coming back. Yes. So, and we have more Europeans that than before. Than before what?
Than before what?
You wonder.
We have 9 Europeans in the field.
Yeah, exactly. So we're more Europeans coming now than the start of the season.
And Champions Cup is you have to qualify to play. So we are also missing some players that we normally see. Like I know Lykke Lorentzen isn't in the tournament. I don't know. I would have thought that she qualified. So I don't know if she's not playing for a different reason. I haven't seen anything from her.
Yeah.
But we have Christine Lett, who everyone knows. She's the world number 1. She's a 2-time world champion. She's won 7 majors, including the Grand Slam that we just mentioned. She has never played this course before, though. So we don't really have a record to tell how she has done previously. But I mean, I don't know if there's anything that she can't tackle. So I would expect her to do great.
Exactly.
She has played amazing this season already. She's first in fairway hits. She's first in C1 and C2 in regulation, first in scramble, first in parked. I think like the only bad thing you can say about her game is that her putting isn't first, but she's like 5th.
Yeah. And she wins with that. I mean, we've seen so far. So, and also, I mean, when we talk about this course, there's, we say that distance is preferable on the course. But if there's something that Kristen is good at, as you told us, she's good in scramble, she's parked, she will fairway hits, she's first. And there's a lot of OB as well on this course. So it's just not who throws the furthest. It's also who can keep in bounds.
Yeah. Next on the list, we have Anneli Togias-Meniste, who is also from Estonia. She won the Belgian Open in Europe last year. She hasn't played a ton of Pro Tour earlier this year. Or, I mean, she hasn't played at all this year, but she played a little bit last year. But she mostly play all the big tournaments in Europe and usually performs really well at them. But I think is still waiting to get her like big breakout on the US scene.
Yeah.
So next European on the list is Maria Livamägi. I hope I pronounced that right. She is a player that doesn't really place in the top, but I think she is a player who is building a lot of experience, playing a lot of the Pro Tours. Last year, she played about 5 Elite Series, and she has been in the field at, I think, all of the tournaments that have been so far. And I mean, she's just a player to keep an eye on and kind of see how she develops, but she's definitely one of the lower rated in the field. Next, sorry.
No, sorry. I just wonder if you know from what tournament she qualified?
No, I do not.
No? Okay, so probably something here in Europe, maybe?
It's a really good question, but I actually don't know. And I don't know if that's something that you can find out.
No, we probably have to go to her Instagram or something. Or, yeah, I can find it out.
Yeah, I think you can find it on Disc Golf Scene. So if you help us figure that out, I can let you know that Kairi Tekku is the next person from Europe on our list. And she is, I mean, I don't, want to like take anything from her, but she was famously the best KT on European Disc Golf Festival last year, because as Kristen Tatar was not playing her best, Kerry was, and got some attention from that. She has a lot of second places in the big tournaments here in Europe from last year, so she has been playing really well, placing on the podium, but she's still looking to get her first big win. So before, were you able to find from the tournament?
No, you can see that there's a spot before the spot get filled. Do you know what I mean? So when the person that's been qualifying is on the list, then the qualification where they got it from, disappears. So it's just the name. So I haven't found it, but I found something else, and that is that Lykke Lorentzen is registered to play this weekend. So that's a lot of fun. We've seen Lykke for, is it now 3 years in the US? Or is it 2 years? Yeah, but she's really, she's a really good putter. We saw her at the Green Mountain Championship, I think it was, where she played really well and placed really well for the first time on the tour.
Yeah, she had that big putt on the World Championship when it was played on the same courses, when she had to putt, I think, to make the top 10 at Worlds. And she made it and started crying immediately afterwards. And it was a very emotional moment.
So, yeah.
But yeah, she has a really great putt, like you said. And I don't know why she didn't show up in my sorting. But that's very exciting to see that she's also registered for the tournament.
Yeah. And the next one is Henna Blomros. And we all know Henna. She is one of the smoothest throwers. That's a tongue twist for a Swede. She's very good at throwing. She's one of the best in the world. She has the distance advantage. She throws really good turnovers. I really enjoy watching her standstill turnovers and also her upshots. They're mostly very precise. And this is an assumption, but she really needs it, because once she gets on the green, she struggles. We obviously are cheering for her to just get through it. It's really hard to be in that place, when you have putting jitters. But she makes putts, it's the short ones that's a bit harder. But we look forward to see her again. And then we have Evelina Salonen, which we already talked about, and her amazing year in 2024. What we really saw from her in 2024 was the putts develop that we all had been longing for and cheering for. And this year she started really strong at the, it's not the chess tournament, but yeah, it's a different name this year. What was it, Ida? What was it called this year? Anyways, she started strong, and the putts just failed her a bit on the last round in that tournament. But you can really see that there's a different pace to it now. So we look forward to have the big crusher Evelina back on the course. And then we have Silva Saarinen. I mean, she is the putting monster. She hits the basket from everywhere. It's so satisfying to watch her putt and also to throw. I mean, she throws really well. And her standstills have big distance, and she's very accurate with it. So I think this course will suit her really well.
Yeah, I think so too. With her lines, it should suit her, especially when she has the putting advantage. Just a note, because now you talked about Henna and Silva both being amazing standstill throwers, is what I heard Niklas Antila said on an interview, is that because they have to play through ice and just like the very long winter, and you have to keep playing if you want to play disc golf during more than like 4 months, you have to learn to stand still and throw, and that's why the Finnish players are so good at standstills.
Yeah, I heard it too now when you say it was on the upshot.
Yes.
I heard that. Yeah. So, and then we have Jenny Karppinen. She's also from Finland. She has had some nice top 5 placements at the DGPT Silver events last year, and she was top 10 at European Disc Golf Festival. We haven't seen her a lot on the coverage, but she is really good. She's a part of the Finnish national team. And I have a rumor that I don't know where it came from, but last year when the on the off seasons, the Swedish national team plays and trains together with the Finnish national team. So last year the Swedes went to Finland to practice, and they started off with doubles. They played one Swede and one Finn together. So Jenny was teamed up with an MPO Swedish player, and they crushed the course. And from what I heard, it was all thanks to Jenny. So that's what I know from her. Other than that, I've seen her sometimes, in Copenhagen Open, and yeah. So we hope that she has a great start to her season at the Champions Cup. And last but not least, we have Anniken Christiansen Sten. She had a DGPT win in 2024. She started off her season 2024 really strong. She beat Kristen Tatar Let now. This is so how I save it.
Almost got it.
I know. I was so close. But now, because when we talk about her in past, this in 2023, I think I can get away with saying Tatar and now Let. Sounds better. So anyway, she's a lefty. She's a great thrower. She's really developed her backhand in the off season between 2023 and 2024. We could really see that as she took the win on the DGPT on the Pro Tour last year. So she played the event here at the OTB Open, and she grabbed a 6th place last year.
Yes.
So that is the Europeans coming back.
Yeah, so Anniken, she hasn't really lived up to what she has played to her own level, I think, during the first tournaments that she played in the US. But now she's been home in Norway, maybe relaxing a little bit or working on like what was lacking during the first tournament. So I'm sure she's coming back ready to fight again. But apart from all these Europeans that we are super excited to follow, we have all the Americans still here. The field is really packed with everyone. And so we've previously talked about Holland Handley, and she has to be, if not Kristen is the favorite, then I would say that Holland Handley must be the favorite to win this tournament. She has the distance, her putting looks great. And I think just her posture or like her appearance on the course right now is just very relaxed. And I watched the coverage from last year.
Yeah, I was just about to get to it. Yeah,
seeing her final round and how her appearance was, and how, I don't know, she looked very tense, and it's just very different this year. I feel like she has like reached another other level with her mental game.
Yeah, and it feels like she just cleaned up. She just the mistakes that she used to make, we don't see them as often this season. Just as you mentioned, the OTB Open last year on hole 18, she was in second place. She just had to throw the second shot to the green, surrounded by OB, and then she wanted to throw a flex line, and then turn it over too much and never came back in bounds. And that feels like that was the kind of things that she used to miss, but now we don't see that anymore, not as often, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think Holland is definitely the one to watch out for, but I'm also very excited to see what Paige Pierce can do here. She won the OTB Open in 2021, 2022, and 2023. So she has a great record on this course. She was also in 5th place last year. However, she hasn't been playing very well previously this year. She hasn't been able to break into the top 10. Her C2 putting has been looking great. I think it's one of the better ones on tour, but everything else is really like 30th or 25th. I mean, in the statistics. So she hasn't been throwing like she normally does. And she has, in order to be able to compete, she needs to find that. But maybe she can dig up some good memories and just get, a good vibe.
Yeah, and I love to see Paige Pierce putt. The spinner and her putting routine is, you can see her from a mile away. And that's the Swedish mile.
Yeah, and it's really, I mean, you can see with her putting style, it's because so many people imitate it. And every time you see someone hold up a disc in front of your face, I mean, I don't know if Paige Pierce thought of this or if she copied someone else, but she's the one who made it famous.
Yeah.
So I don't care who invented this technique, because every time I see someone, like yesterday, I played our league night here, and the guy I was playing with held up his disc, like similar to Paige Pierce. And I mean, that's the first thing you think of. You're like, oh, like he watched Paige Pierce putt, and that's why they do it.
Yeah. And on that topic, we have Cat Merch as well.
Oh yeah, another disc holder.
Yeah, exactly.
Or face cover. I don't know,
but a bit more maybe Calvin Heimberg.
Yeah, she's like
Paige Pierce.
I mean, she's her own.
She's a hybrid. Yeah, she really is her own. But as we talked about before, she played really well at the OTB Open last year. And I think, the distance, it suits her because she can attack the par fours, and she really has an arm. She gets there. And now this season, we've seen a bit more forehands from her. We saw some last year as well, but, I feel like she uses it more. I don't know that she especially needs it on this course, but it just shows to her ability to attack another course. And it will be fun to watch her because she's a really fun player to follow.
Yeah, she's always fun to have on the lead card. And Owen Scoggins is also one that has been doing really well on this course. And I mean, what she lacks in distance, she makes up on the putting green. So I don't think there is a course that is where the distance is too far for Owen when her putting is on. And considering what we saw last week at Kansas City Wide Open, the putting is on.
Oh,
yeah. Is on.
She had 100% in the circle for the whole tournament.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that.
No. And speaking of fun, who's more fun to watch than Owen? How she celebrate herself and just shares on her competitors as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will be a really, really fun tournament. And I love that we once again get a little preview of the course, because before the tournament we have the President's Cup.
Yes. I think it's the first time ever that it's not, because usually it's played in relation to European Open or in connection to European Open, but this year it is played now. And when this is recorded, Champion or President's Cup has already been played, so we're not going to go through it at length. But
No.
maybe we should first I want to complain that why are there only 2 FPO players in this team?
I know we have so many good FPO players from Europe.
I know. I think if you added at least one FPO player, like why isn't Silva Salinen on the European team?
Exactly.
If you just add one more FPO, remove one of the MPOs, Europe would win.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the European team, we have Kristin Lett and Evelina Salonen, and Henna Blomros is the reserve. But I mean, I think that person is only used if one is injured. And then for US team, the FPO players are Owen Scoggins and Holland Hanley, and then Missy Gannon is the backup.
But to President's Cup, you get qualified for this, right? Is it by rating?
No, it's based on how you played the last year, I think. So previous year performance, and then it's one player who's a fan vote. I think that's always a MPO player. I don't even think the FPO is eligible for this. And then, yeah, it's also a captain's choice, and that's also MPO player. So
What's up with that?
what's up with that?
Give us the female players. Give us Silva Sarnen.
Yes, I think it feels like Silva is missing on this team for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean,
it will be played. Okay.
Yeah, who do you think will win? Do you think the Europeans will finally get it?
It would be really, really, really nice.
Wouldn't it be something to win first time on American soil?
Yes, it really would. It would be so nice that, okay, yeah, we just had to get over the pot and now we're winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think so. And, it would be really nice to just break off, because when you look at the scoreboard for President's Cup and you see the winner, it's just USA, 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 USA. I'm tired of it. Bring in Europe.
Yeah, we're not gonna say that. I mean, it's the MPO side is really strong on the US side, but we're gonna keep cheering for the European team. So we're gonna predict that the Europeans win, and then when you listen to this, you're gonna know if we were wrong or not.
Yeah, but not if you're in Sweden, right? Oh, yeah, of course. We release on Thursday.
Yes.
Sorry.
So we're recording this tomorrow. On Tuesday, the 29th of April, but it will be released on May 1st.
Yes. I will be on a train enjoying this fight tomorrow. So, and also the President's Cup, what they do is they play 2 rounds on 9 holes. And that's it.
You're looking at me like I should know. I don't.
No, but I read on the website, so I know. Okay, so that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they go head to head and they compete against each other for 9 holes at a time, and then there will be a winner, USA or Europe.
Yeah. Hopefully, it will be Europe this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, then we know we need another FPO player.
Yes. Please.
Please.
Make some changes. Yeah, something else is that regards to the tournament, I mean, I think, if you're in the US close to this tournament and you haven't decided to go, know that all PDGA members get a ticket for free, like a general admission ticket for free. So you just need to sign up. I think you still need to buy your ticket, but the cost is $0. So I think that's a really good perk of being a PDGA member when a major is being played.
Yeah, because you add to the fuel that you want to get out and watch the players, and if you get warmed up by the President's Cup, I'm sure you're gonna want to go back and pay for a ticket at least on the final day.
Well, I think you get free tickets to the whole major.
All of it,
I think
the
you
whole
get
major. What are you doing? Run, go there, watch the players. We have to watch it through a screen.
cheer for all your favorites.
Yeah. And so for the European listeners, we have from Sweden, there is the tournament plays 9 hours back. So, for example, the President Cup start at 1 in the noon. What do you say then? PM, 1 PM. So that will be at 10 PM for us. And the women start their tournament at 8:30 a.m. So 8 hours, so 5:30 a.m. for us. So it's
Is that when
9?
lead card?
Yeah.
Okay. 5:30.
Okay, I said when the tournament.
So it's a perfect
starts,
time.
yeah.
So I mean, it's a bummer for MPO, and if you want to follow MPO closely on the live stream, but this is perfect for FPO fans, which of course
Yeah.
you all are.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so make sure to follow the live. And of course, I mean, it's always going to be post-produced, but we all know that live is the best.
Live is the best.
Mhm.
And it's also so nice that you can have a whole day, be out playing on a course or just do the things you need to do. And then you get home and you can sit down and relax and get your heart going by watching some disc golf.
Yes. It's like a combination of ASMR, just listening to the commentary and like watching the slow movement. And then you get these moments of super excitement and like, I don't know, your heart pumps really fast. And yeah, it's just a perfect evening.
And also, if there's drama on the course, you see it a lot better on the live than you do on
see it
post-production.
first when it happens.
Yeah. And it's so juicy, always.
So are we going to finish off by predicting the winners or predicting the top 3 players?
Yes, we are.
Do you want to start giving me... Yeah. So do you want to do them in specific order or just general top 3?
General top 3, because I don't like losing.
Okay, go.
Okay. So we will have Kristen Lett will be in the top 3. Colin Handley will be in the top 3. And we're also going to see... I don't know. Who am I going to choose?
Yeah, because it's kind of easy with those two. You're like,
yeah, I know,
the two obvious world top.
It's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. Super. What a spicy take, Jolene.
Yes, I know. But as I said, I don't like losing. Okay, so the third one on my podium will be Evelina Salmen.
I think that's a really good pick. I think that's very reasonable. I don't know. I can't remember how Evelina has performed here. I don't know if she played OTB Open previously, but I don't think she placed on the podium before. But the course really should suit her. So with her power distance.
She didn't play it last year.
Okay. Yeah, it's usually in a weird place for the Europeans because you have to travel really far when you like can take a break and go home between certain tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear yours.
I mean, I would say the same. It's that's why I was like so spicy. Of course, like how can you not pick Kristen and Holland for the top? They both play really, really excellent golf. They are number one in like all the statistics except maybe for putting, but then they are still in the top 5, so it doesn't really matter because they're so good at everything. But then the third player that I would like to see perform really well is, I mean, I would really cheer for like Ella, you know, back-to-back win on this course. It would be really fun, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. But I think that it is finally time to see Missy Gannon coming back and like having a great performance for the whole tournament and not just like a one-round showing.
Yeah, well, she is Big Bunny Missy, so this is the time. Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, okay. So in a month, you will know who won, who lose.
Yeah, so if you want to... yeah, exactly. It's weird because now we won't do an English episode discussing this afterwards. Maybe, I mean, we should bring it up in the next English episode that we do. We'll do like a tiny recap of the most exciting moments. But if you are one of our Swedish listeners, there will be a Swedish episode as usual next Thursday. But with that, I think we just want to thank all of you who listened to this episode. Please, this is our first episode in English, so bear with us. It's not going to be perfect everywhere. We still need some time to get used to this, but I hope that you have enjoyed it. And we also want to say thank you to Pontus, who does the audio and the editing of these episodes.
And also thank you to PDGA Europe Women.